Earth has been destroyed due to a war with an alien species named scavengers. Humans won the war, but most of the planet became uninhabitable. Humans had to leave Earth, so they built the TET, which is a temporary space station, before migrating to Titan. Engineer Jack and his wife Victoria stayed behind to protect the hydro rigs that convert seawater into energy. The scavenger army attacks their drones and have tried to kill Jack many times. Jack handles drone maintenance and flies a helicopter to look for 2 offline drones. The weather is very harsh. Lightning hits Jack's helicopter, and it starts free-falling, but he manages to pull it up. Jack locates the drone and initiates repair. He is observed by the scavengers. The next drone crashed inside a sinkhole. The scavengers are still after Jack. Jack is trapped by the scavengers. He shoots back and runs for safety. While going up, his tether snaps and he falls in the middle of the scavengers. Suddenly, the other drone comes there and starts shooting at the scavengers. Jack returns back to his sky station. The next day, Jack sees a nearby hydro rig exploding sky high. Jack flies to the explosion site and picks up a rogue signal. He goes to look for it and finds that the scavs have built an antenna to send signals. Vika decodes the signal and finds coordinates for Area 17, which is in the middle of nowhere. Jack goes to look, but the area is marked as a radiation zone. Meanwhile, Jack is constantly having visions of a woman. Victoria observes an unidentified object falling from the sky. Jack goes to look and finds various escape pods. One among the survivors is the woman from Jack's vision. Suddenly, drones come there and fire at the survivors. Jack comes in front of the woman and is able to save her. The whole thing is noticed by scavengers. Jack brings the survivor to their sky home. Jack is confused because drones should protect humans. Instead, they attack the survivors. Both Jack nor Victoria don't have any memory of Earth before the war, due to a security memory wipe. When the survivor wakes up, she calls Jack by his name. Jack and the survivor, Julia, go to recover the flight recorder from her ship. Suddenly, Jack is attacked by the scavengers. They take him hostage and bring him to their base. Victoria gives the information to the control center in the TET and asks for a drone to sweep the area. The scavengers reveal their faces and they turn out to be the last remaining human survivors. They are living underground, hiding from the drones and fighting for their survival. The leader tells Jack that the drones are programmed to kill humans, not to save them. The humans have developed a nuke but need a drone to carry the payload up to the TET. The survivors want Jack to program the drone to return back to the TET with the nuke. The drone from the TET locates the humans and attacks them. The leader asks Jack to go to the radiation zone to find the real truth. The survivor Julia reveals herself to be Jack's wife. She tells him that before the war, humans had located an alien object near Titan. Astronauts Jack, Julia, and Victoria were sent to investigate the object. The alien object was the TET. Jack now remembers his past connection with Julia. Victoria sees them together and gets very angry. She informs the TET control that Jack has brought a survivor to the Sky House from the crash site. Suddenly, the TET activates a drone and it blasts Victoria to pieces. Then it comes after Jack. Julia fires at the drone and saves Jack. Jack now realizes that the TET isn't what he thought it to be. It sends more drones after Jack and Julia. While fighting the drone, they accidentally fly over the radiation zone and crash land there. Jack scouts the area and sees a man identical to him doing drone repairs. Jack fights with the other Jack and knocks him out. He then steals the other Jack's helicopter and goes to their house. He sees a woman identical to Victoria in that house. After realizing the truth, Jack and Julia return to the human survivors' base. The leader tells Jack that when the TET arrived, they first destroyed the moon to cause tsunamis and earthquakes. Then the TET sent troop ships to Earth. In those ships, there were thousands of copies of Jack and Victoria, with their memories wiped and programmed to kill. The TET created thousands of copies of memory-wiped astronauts and sent them back to Earth to kill humans. Then they established the hydro rigs to consume every last bit of energy from Earth. Meanwhile, Jack programs the drone to take the nuke to the TET and destroy it. But someone has to pilot it. The Tet sends more drones to attack the human base. The drones destroy almost 90% of the base. It locks on humans, but one survivor is able to take it down. Jack manages to take out the other drone. Jack, along with Julia, takes the nuke and starts their journey toward the Tet. We see a flashback. In it, we see Jack and his crew's first encounter with the alien object known as the Tet. It caused a malfunction in their spaceship. Due to this, Commander Jack sent Julia and other astronauts back to Earth on escape pods. That's why Julia and other astronauts landed on Earth earlier. Back in the present, Jack enters the Tet. We see hundreds of drones ready to deploy. We see thousands of pods filled with copies of Jack and Victoria. The Tet wanted Jack to bring Julia so that it could make copies of her, to deploy on Earth. Instead, Jack brought the leader and sent Julia back to Earth. Jack and the survivor leader detonate the nuke and destroy the Tet. Simultaneously, the drones on Earth lose connection and get destroyed. Julia and other survivors establish a community on Earth. We now see the other Jack, who is a clone of Jack Harper, meeting with Julia and her daughter.